guys, it's Danny. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making this cute little shaker mini dashboard for my October spread, and I'm going to show you how I did it. So if you want to see how, just keep watching. To start, you'll need some cardstock, a journaling card, some embroidery thread, an embroidery needle, a pierce tool, a pair of scissors, a hole punch, some confetti or sequins, some glue tape or double-sided tape, some regular scotch tape, some acetate or clear plastic, and I'm also going to be using some stamps and ink. That's optional. If you want to make the rosette, you'll need some crepe paper, a stapler, and some die cuts to embellish. Okay, first thing you want to do is take your journal card. I couldn't find any that I liked for this, so I cut out one just from cardstock, plain orange. So next thing you want to do is take some cardstock, lay your journal card along it, and cut to the same size of your journal card but with an extra border. So just like that. Enough space so you can punch some holes. Next, take your acetate or your clear plastic and cut out a shape just slightly bigger than your journal card or your piece of cardstock that you're using. Doesn't have to be neat at this point. Okay, now take your journal card. So mine's just plain orange, but I want to spice it up a little bit, so I'm going to use some stamps and some black ink. Next, I'm taking a few of the beads and the sequins that I'm planning on using for my filling, and I'm just putting a few on the middle of the card. What this is going to do is just help lift that acetate up a little bit when I stick it on top. If you stick the acetate straight onto the paper, it still works, but it will be really flat against your backing paper or your journal card, and when you put your filling in, it won't be so much of a shaker pocket. So I've just put a little bit of glue tape in each corner and stuck my acetate on top. You won't see this through the card if you're using a pattern backing. Next, I'm taking you need something to pierce through, so pierce into with your pierce tool. So what I've done is taken some foam board, cut it into 4 pieces, and then stuck them one on top of each other so that when I pierce through, I'm not going to damage my surface, and it's a bit safer. So next, just take your pierce tool and you want to pierce holes through both layers of both the acetate and the card, 2 to 3 mils apart. Not too close because you can split the acetate and you'll just end up with a mess, but not so far apart that any of your beads or sequins can come out. So good rule of thumb is stitches or your hole spacing should be just slightly smaller than your smallest piece of filling. So keep going until it looks like this and you've gone all the way around the outside. Next, you want to take your embroidery thread and split it into individual strands. I used 2 strands, but you could go up to 3. So once you've separated out your strands, thread your needle and tie a good size knot in the end. You do want an embroidery needle for this. You want something that's going to be blunt, not a sewing needle. So now start stitching. So you want to thread through from the back so your knot is going to sit at the back of the card. The Then take your scotch tape and tape the tail down to the back of the card. So this will keep it from getting tangled up and fluffy and frayed, and keep it nice and neat and tight. Now just stitch using the back stitch technique. So come up through one further ahead than you started and then stitch back. Then from the back go back again 2 spaces and then stitch forward 1. And just keep doing that until you run out of thread. And try to keep your thread nice and taut, but don't pull too hard because you can split the card and the acetate if you really pull too hard. Then once you run out of thread, just tie a knot and trim your end to a centimetre or 2, long enough to tape down. And then just start again in the same way. And just tape those ends down so they're nice and out of the way. Then continue with your stitching until you have just one side open. Okay, now you just want to choose your filling. So you just want a few pieces, you don't want too much. If you overfill it, it just won't shake. So you need enough space in there so that when you do shake it, that the filling has space to move around in. You're filling in, just continue your stitching until you get to the end. When you get to the end, just tie another knot and tape that end down. Then just trim off all that excess acetate. And your pocket is finished. So now I'll make the rosette. So take a length of crepe paper. This is like crepe paper streamer, just from the dollar store. And you just want to hold onto one end and pleat it. So just bunch it up with your fingers. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just keep going and working your way around until you have a circle shape. Then take your stapler and just staple through the middle a couple of times until it's all secure. You won't see the staples afterwards because we're going to put some embellishments on. So I'm just taking this black scalloped circle and some glue tape and sticking it on the middle. And then I'm taking this cute little pumpkin that I drew and coloured in earlier and just fussy cut out from just some plain copy paper. And there you have it, there's the rosette. And I'm just trimming off the edge because it was a little uneven. Okay, next I'm taking my dashboard and I'm lining it up on my inserts to decide where I want it to sit on my page. Then I'm just marking where my holes need to go. Then taking my hole punch and punching those out. Then it's as simple as taking some glue tape and sticking your pocket onto your dashboard. Just like that. Now I decided to move my rosette because it was at the bottom, it was covering where the confetti was all settling to the bottom naturally, and you can see it. So I decided to move it to the top. You just need a bit of glue tape to stick that on. Super cute! I'm just trimming a bit more off that rosette. And we're done! Now you can just pop your dashboard onto your rings. And there you have it, a cute little mini shaker dashboard for your planner. I hope you enjoyed watching, guys. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time. Bye guys!